Well, it is always just such a joy to see you and to be here with you from all over the world, from Africa. Hi, Sharon. From Europe with Austria there, and Tom especially there today. Tom, a huge big welcome to you. We're thrilled to have you with us. As Richard so clearly said, that the best thing that we can all do is to work hard and carry on Jan's legacy, which was to pass it on. And as you well know, our one of our light themes in the Pass It On network has been, or one of the inspirations has been that poem which says, "We are the ones we have been waiting for." But the other day I was having a long chat with Osnat, which is a delight. We have lots of these long chats. And we were talking about the fact that it is just so important that we all actually feel involved. And maybe we said, and we can explore this together, but we said instead of emphasizing that we are the ones, if we just turned it around from time to time and said, I am the one, and to see what we specifically are doing ourselves in this incredible field that we are working in, because it really is just so exciting. And you never know which way it's going to go with Harvard University saying that they can turn back aging and there's going to be an aging pill and goodness knows what. But the point of the matter is that whether they do or whether they don't, there's still millions of people, millions and millions of people all around the world who need help, who need friendship, who need companionship, and who need the warmth, human warmth. As you all know, the Pass It On Network is a grassroots global movement, and our business is to connect people from around the world, because the phenomenon that we are busy living through at the moment and that we are shaping, all of us, is global. It's not an American phenomenon, it's not an African phenomenon, it's not a European or Asian, it's absolutely global. All over the world, it is taking place. So we believe in connecting people from the five continents, all of whom are busy promoting positive aging, advocating for the rights of older people, and fostering intergenerational solidarity. Because let's face it, the challenges that we are facing today are so complex, and these are challenges that they are completely age blind, and they concern
Yes.
absolutely everybody. And we need everybody, all hands on deck, to help to find the right solutions for these problems. And as we always say, that nothing for us without us. So as everybody is concerned, then everybody should also be concerned in in the situation. So our Pass It On network has many ways of connecting. The one is through this, and this is, I think, one of our favorites, isn't it, Osnat? To see people around the screen, to have the opportunity actually of having human beings, because today we're living in a world where everything's AI'd and nobody wants to actually talk to anybody, which is very, very awful. But we love to talk, and we think that that's the only way that we are really going to get through. So we have our 50/50s, which are regular. They happen every second Monday of the month, and we've been going now. I think we're into our fifth year, Osnat. I think we are into our fifth year, and we have a
Here.
YouTube channel, and then we have the notes that follow the every single 50/50, and they're usually very well packed with useful information. Then we have our Gazette, which comes out irregularly, always with the promise of being more regular as we go ahead. And I have an exciting piece of news for you today, because we have with us on the screen, if you'll just wave your hand, Jeff Rubin from Kentucky. And Jeff has agreed to take over from where Jan left off at the United Nations with the SGA group on aging, which is very much concerned with the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. We attend and participate in conferences all around the world. We're very, very keen and happy to say that we'll be in Cape Town to who's yes, in Cape Town with our Southern African group, and we'll be talking there. We'll be having a strategic meeting, and that I think is going to be a lot of fun. When we first launched this group in 21, we had a physical meeting, and ever since then we have monthly virtual meetings. So we're really very excited to have this get together physically to plan our strategy as we go ahead. And I think, Osnet, that's basically what I wanted to say. We all need each other. We all need all the help that we can get to carry on Jan's legacy. And as Luann said, yesterday there was just such a beautiful memorial service for her at her church in Portland. And there is a link, and we can share that link with you if anybody wishes to go there. But it was absolutely beautiful, and just a series of photos which just showed Jan in all her moods and all her stages of life. It was really very moving and touching. And on those very few words, I think I'd like to hand over to Osnat to put us in the mode that we like best, and that is to communicate with each other. Osnat, over to you.
Yes, well, welcome for our second Pass It On networking. I'm actually so happy to see so many of you coming back to just have a conversation with one another. We've been kind of thinking, where is Pass It On Network going next? And maybe you want to weave it into your conversation. So the main aim of today is to get to know one another best or better in small breakout rooms. So we're going to have several breakout rooms, and we have right now 3 people, and 2 of them have 4 people for 15 minutes, and we'll do it again and one more time throughout the next hour, and hopefully with different people. I'll do my best. I'm going to put in chat 3 prompts. You can use them or you don't have to use them, but why not? All right. There are 3 prompts there. The one is, how do we shape a new multi-generation leadership model for Pass It On Network? Heavy, if you want to take a stab at it. How do I nurture the elder in me and in others? And the third one, who is me, is the one I've been waiting for. Yay! These 3 are going to follow you into your breakout rooms. We just make sure everybody has a partner, at least 1, 2, 3. Good. See you in 15 minutes. And if you're running into problem or get kicked out of the breakout room, come back to the main room, and I'll do what I can to repair the situation. So see you soon.
Well, we had such an interesting conversation.
Wow.
Well, doing these breakouts is one of my favorite parts of
Isn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's really a chance to connect with individuals. It's great.
No, well, we had Carol and Carolyn and Werner. So that was already Denver and Canada. And then Carolyn's very much involved with Rwanda. So we had that, that spread of experience. It was just wonderful.
So you're going to have another opportunity like this. Let's keep the momentum, and then we'll check after the next one whether we want to do some sharing or whatever. But you haven't. I did my best to give you new partners. I apologize for room number 1 for having so many people there. It was totally unintentional, but it's more balanced now. And see you again in 15 minutes. Same prompts if you want to, or otherwise. Let me just make sure everybody has partner. Yes, see you soon. Yeah.
Osnat, can we get emails shared amongst those of us who were in the little groups? Because like VJ and Collins both have very important.
So Carolyn, there are 2 ways to do it. I'm going to put a contact sheet that we've had now for several years in the chat, and it will also be in the recap. And the other thing is you can just send a private message to the people who you want to connect and ask them, hey, can you give me quickly your email address?
Yeah.
And it will be a lot faster. Okay.
And if we can quickly record it correctly.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. But I'm glad you're
So-
going to have a big sheet there.
Everybody's back, almost.
That's
Slowly.
been wonderful.
I'm so happy, Richard. This is pass it on networking, you know?
When we have 30 squares on the screen, you cannot communicate with one
Yeah.
person. It's a different experience.
Yeah, we'll probably do it again in October because it's like 3 times a year to
Right.
hold hands together, see what's new, invite your friends. This is a network. This is not a club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's got a baby?
Yeah.
Alice. Introduce us, Alice.
That's Pia. She's 3.5.
Okay, hello,
Yeah.
Pia.
Probably the youngest person we've had in the Pass It On network.
Exactly.
Intergenerational.
Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly.
Right?
As we said, we have to start young. Start them in the young. So
We've had my cat, but this is the first time we've had such a young participant.
And it's something we all have in common, is aging.
Well, you start when you're born. So welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. It sounds like it was pretty good. I'm just going to post one more time, just in case you spoke about it, those 3 points. But there's no but, it's an and. We have, okay, we're gonna split it into 2. In the next 5 minutes, anybody who wants to speak about if something stood out for you in the conversation that you had, something that had emerged for you that you think the entire group should learn about. It's not a recap of your breakout rooms. This is not the thing here. The thing here was about connecting and what it did to you. What are you seeing differently now than you did when you walked into these 3 rooms? What kind of possibilities are different now? So I'm going to pass it on to Jackie. Yeah. And before Jackie, before you speak, at one point I'm going to say, pause for a second, and I'm going to tell you what's going to happen next month. And then we're going to come back to all these conversations.
Okay. No, I just wanted to make a little announcement before I leave. Tomorrow I'll be sending you the program for the International Day of Older Persons. It's all ready now.
Yeah.
I have it already, but it's a wrong link on it, and I don't want to send it out with the wrong link on it. The link is going to be changed tonight, and I'll send it to you then so you can share it with everybody. It's a great program on the September 26th, okay, in the UN in Vienna, but you could be online. Okay, that's all I wanted to say.
Excellent, Jackie. I really appreciate it. And we will include it in our post-session letter that is called Highlights from the Session of Today. And Verna.
Yes, I'm just going to add on to what was just said. Alice was saying that they have a cross-generational week, which I think is a fabulous idea. But what I got out of this most is how much we are working on the same things and how critical is that we find partners. And sometimes that seems so hard. And today I just realized they're right in front of me. And I'm just so delighted, really delighted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure. I thought I saw Adele raising a hand, but maybe not.
You did. You did see my hand. This has been a fabulous conversation about intergenerational relationships, And since someone else gave a plug for another program, if I may, I'd like to give a plug as well. I'm involved in a series called Embracing Aging, which is on the LEAP platform, which is part of CABI, the Center for Aging and Brain Health Innovation. And we are, as I say, the series is called Embracing Aging. And we're having an episode this week on intergenerational relationship. And guest of honor is none other than our own Isaac here, because having seen Isaac participate in Pion, I think he is, and I don't mean this in any way to be condescending, Isaac, but I think you are the poster child for intergenerational relationships. So if anyone is interested in joining that session, I will put a link. You do have to be a member of LEAP. Joining LEAP is a no-cost proposition, and you're welcome to participate. The session is on Thursday afternoon from 2:30 to 3:30.
Great.
And
Adele, if you can put the link in the chat, and I'll
I will.
include it in the post letter.
Okay.
And Luan, and then I'm going to pause for a second before going to Adrienne, just to give my information about next session. So Luan, go for you. And you unmute.
Just very briefly, I wanted to share something that I say to myself every day and share it with you just in case you want to use it. It reminded me at the beginning when you said, you know, we are the ones we are waiting for, and that you might change that a little bit. But one of the things I say as I'm constantly looking for, so am I doing what I'm meant to be doing? Am I using my potential? Have I found what I'm really supposed to contribute to? And what I say is, what you are seeking is seeking you. What you are seeking is seeking you. And I don't know where I read that, saw it, or anything, but I offer it to all of you to say, what you are seeking is seeking you. It's out there. You're both looking for each other. Keep your eyes open, sort of thing. So that's all I wanted to say.
Wow. Something to pause and consider. Thank you, Luan.
Sure.
I am going to take the next minute and a half to just tell you what's going to happen next month. Next month, we are going to, and this has been quite a tumultuous year for all kinds of reasons. So next month in August, as we always do, we're going to take a look at the past 6 months in the rear view mirror, and kind of change the mirror and look ahead. And also another thing that is happening in September is the International Federation of Aging conference, global conference in South Africa, and Facetton Network is taking a very big and interesting part in it, and we'll have some of the people who are organizing it share some details. And in the chat, I'm going to be putting a link to the feedback form that we always ask you to say what do you want more of, what do you want less of, what do you enjoy, what do you see opportunities in. So please let us know. Also, there's going to be a link to that I mentioned before. It's a spreadsheet, and if you want to put your name, there's some different columns. You can populate them with interest and contact. And join others. This is your resource to connect to others that maybe you didn't meet today and share your interest. And yes, recording of this session of whatever we're saying in public here is going to be available towards the end of the week on our YouTube channel, where you can find recordings of all the previous sessions. The next session is going to be on August 11th, and this is where we're going to review, look back and look forward, and look forward to seeing all of you. And with that, I'm going to pass it on to Adrienne.
Just one thing, that the September session will be done from Cape Town and from the International Federation on Aging conference.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. But that's September. August
right.
is still here.
That's right, but still, we're just hyping ourselves up.
Exactly.
I thought we
So
were going to go to dinner, Moira, on the Monday night.
Exactly.
Like a picnic.
So I saw Adrian,
Yes.
and are you still
So-
there? Yeah.
Yeah, so let me just follow up on a few small things. On the IFA, so I'm the representative to the United Nations from the International Federation on Aging. This is our conference, and I'm also covering it for media. So to give you an extra incentive, do come to the conference because I will be able to interview you about your mission and about your organizations, and that will be promoted. So it's a good free promotion. Think of it that way, as well as a great opportunity to go to South Africa. So please
Yeah.
attend. So that's number one. Number two, in terms of this format that you had, I thought it was wonderful, Osnet. I met so many lovely people that we could already collaborate with. So I just think this is a real win. One of them seems to be Isaac all the time. Reminded me of something that we could do intergenerationally. Because he's so involved with digital health, I call it digital health. I don't mean seeing your doctor online. I mean knowing how to navigate all the new technology. There is a hackathon for that's an intergenerational event every single year where people, usually starting in high school and then college, can compete. This year we had 700 of them all over the world competing on issues that could be solved through technology. Many of them issues of aging and health. And you can see that hackathon at gnec.ngo. And you'll see the winners. And the reason I know about this is the IFA contributes a prize, but also because I've had the young people on my podcast, On the Ground. So that's one of my podcasts. So you'll see that. And so I think we ought to get involved, that Pass On Network could get involved in some way with this hackathon, which brings awareness to hundreds of kids intergenerationally all over the world. So that's what I was thinking of after I met Isaac for the first time on this. It's really a wonderful way because technology is a part of our lives. But for young people, technology is most of their lives. And so if we can reach them through that interesting issue, that would be very good. And otherwise, I think it's great. I invite you to become Ageless Travelers, agelesstraveler.com. We do everything to get people over the age of 60 traveling and always to be able to travel. So my motto is, will everybody who says it can't be done, get out of the way of the people who are doing it. So a little tough love,
Adrian,
but sometimes we have to stick together.
Adrian, please put those links in the chat,
put it on
and
there.
we'll
Okay.
make
do it
sure
right
that
now.
everybody has them. And
Thank you.
Sylvia.
I have a question regarding intergenerational solidarity or comprehension or whatever. Creating value together, learning together. In one of the groups, we had Marco, who is a young sociologist who made an internship at Pass It On. So I would love to hear from him about if at Pass It On Network we would be doing an event about intergenerational bonding, what would be attractive issues to address according to him? So that's something I would love to know from him. A young person here.
Sylvia, I'm afraid he had to leave. He told me before he was coming that he had to leave and he couldn't stay the whole way. But that's a very, very interesting question, because from the Pass It On Network's point of view, he was absolutely the best intern that we've had. He was so interesting and interested in everything that he did, and I can ask him that, and he can next.
Another perspective. So
Right.
thank you, Moira. I didn't realize he left. Thank you.
Jeff?
Yes, I just wanted to say that the forum taking place at the UN, the high-level political forum, there is a sidebar meeting on this Wednesday, from 1:15 to 2:30 p.m. It's sponsored by the Canadian delegation, and it's on the intersectionality of ageism and sexism, harnessing the power of older women. And there are people be there in person, but obviously you can register to be on it virtually. And so I would strongly suggest, if you have the time and the interest, to join that. And I put it in the chat, but I'm not sure if I have the correct. I say click here. I don't know if I have the link, so you might just Google that and you'll get the invitation.
All right. Excellent, Jeff. I'm wondering, I just want to throw back these questions that were kind of interesting for Pass It On Network, about a new model, shared model of, what did they call it? Multi-generational leadership model for Pass It On Network. Has anybody spoken about this? Can you share? Is this something that we need to learn and bring into the fore as we move on?
I'd like Verna, if she would like to, just to mention her idea about the writing group, Verna. That was extremely interesting.
Well, I have to thank Joyce and Barbara for this. Joyce is here today. And Barbara is someone else very interested in cross-generational. And again, Isaac connected me. He's just amazing. So, right, one of the suggestions to me was, because I like writing and I'm interested in cross-generational, is to blend those interests and just work with people of all generations who would like to write together. And certainly topics will come up which are important to all of us, and also certainly issues. And I think a narrative format is one that creates empathy, storytelling, and so on. So, yeah, I'm just looking for a partner to get that started, and excited about that idea. And I really thank Joyce for that, and Isaac.
Great.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I think Carolyn was interested in that very much.
So if I can throw back that question, how do we co-shape a new multi-generational leadership model for Pass It On Network? Not putting any pressure on anybody, but any ideas, any thoughts, has anybody spoken about that at all? That's okay. I would like to put this in the in your basket of things to think about after today, because it's important. We meet here every month and we have conversations, and you go back and you have conversations with other people. But do you have any ideas for us collectively of how do we bring it more into where the world is going now? And who was it that was just, oh yeah, it was Alice. You were going to say something.
And Dory as well. Osnick,
Yeah,
had her hand up.
We'll start with Alice and then go to Dory.
We had a conversation, but it was more generally about how can leadership become more intergenerational or multi-generational. we were saying that it needs like events where everyone can meet, like nice events. I don't know, bring food, everyone brings food, and then you can meet really with the people behind the jobs. But then there also has to be maybe rules or something. Yeah, just a focus on regulations, how to make gender different age groups come into leadership, like it was done with gender, because it had been women in leadership had to be pushed up because just wouldn't happen. Because we were saying that ideally it should happen organically. People get interested, and then but it's not always the case. So there may be that, but we were more talking about enterprises than regarding to leadership. Yes.
It leaks from one to the next. Thank you, Alice. Dory?
Well, I had wanted to tell people that I'd be interviewing Rick Moody in August, and I know he spoke here before, but if any people are interested, again, I put it in chat. It's free and open to the public and all of that. But I thought part of what was so lovely about today was, I think it just reaffirms the beauty of the Pass It On network, and just, that, Maura and Jan created, of just, recognizing how universal the ageism is, and the caregiving. And I mean, those were the things we talked about. And then Jeff was part of one of the groups I was in, and just being able to hear about the UN. But I think, that whole thing about not having to reinvent, but really trying to figure out where the intersections are, is just so important. So I thought today was particularly lovely. And many of you may know about it. I know some do, that I do have this free fourth Tuesday at noon Eastern time interview with expert series on issues about aging and retirement and whatever. It's been 13 years. And starting at the 10th year, there's a free podcast series that you can get to. And again, you can hear it on any podcast you want. It's just sort of my giving back. I mean, at these conferences, I've met so many wonderful people, and actually there's an interview with Jan and Maura at one point too. But anyway, I just wanted to have people know about that. But I thought today, and the connecting, and I have to say, part of what I've loved about the Pass It On is when I've traveled, I've often met people who are liaisons in other countries. I mean, I don't know if Sylvia remembers, but I met Sylvia a number of years ago when I was in Buenos Aires. I met Hans in Iceland, Linda in South Africa, and Grace Smith in South Africa. And so it's a wonderful way whenever you travel. There's Hans. It's a lovely way to connect and meet people who are liaisons in other countries if you happen to be traveling. So thank you.
Excellent. Okay. There's Adele. Adele?
I think one of the nice things about today has been the number of younger generation people that are here. Oftentimes it's just Isaac. So it's nice to see other generations. And when we talk about, someone used the phrase intersection, we have several different generations of younger generations here today. Yeah. So as someone else mentioned earlier, 50 is a different generation to 80. And 30 is a different generation to 50. So it's nice that we're seeing a spread of intergenerationality, if there's such a word, here today.
Yeah, very grateful for Collins, for Isaac, for Alice. I'm just inferring here that you're younger than 50. And please come back. I'm going to just wrap it up here. Moira, a few words for you, and then we're going to turn off the recording and welcome everybody to join us the next time.
Well, I found it so enriching in the 3 sessions that I was in, and it is this cross-section discussion. And just to be able to spread our wings. In the one session, we were talking about Rwanda, Canada, and Denver and South Africa. That's already a big wide scope, and I think that is what is interesting to learn from each other. But I agree totally with Osnat, and that is we seek also to have some direction so that we can get our messages going out in the four corners of the world. But we'll get there. And I think for us and for all of us, as we've just been saying, that the intergenerational or multi-generational, whatever we want to call it, is really capital, absolutely capital. And we look forward to being with you, sharing more and learning from each other and going ahead. And I see Jeff's got his hand up. Jeff?
I was just going to say that what I see over and over again in the meetings that I attend in the breakout groups, passion and purpose is front and center in just about every conversation. But I would add a third P: passion, purpose, and positive aging. And in my particular group, we talked about the difference between positive aging and the message that conveys and anti-ageism. And I don't want to be anti anything. I want to be for something. And I'm for positive aging. But passion, purpose, and positive aging, that's what I hear over and over again with this group. So that's my 2 cents.
Excellent way to conclude our session today. Thank you very much for coming for Pass It On Networking. We'll see you again on the 11th of August. I put the links for everything that we want to share with you in the chat, and hope to hear from you and hope to see you and reconnect and connect. Thank you very much.